Welcome to Still Dripping Happy Hour. Welcome to episode 120. It's not 119. There's a typo there. To the Still Dripping Happy Hour. This is your host, Mason. On the move tonight, we got LP.
Pop up, pop off.
And we got Daniel King. What up, Dan?
Chomp, chomp, chomp. Eat my cereal, baby.
Remember to go on Instagram and follow us at Still Dripping TN. Hit the YouTube. I think it's Still Dripping TN as well. Or the Still Dripping Happy Hour. You can watch Dan eat some cereal. Looking like he just got out of bed, but he actually just got out of the shower, folks. So, all right. I know a lot's been happening. Landon, you've got plenty of stories to fill us in on, right?
So many
Landon,
stories.
over the last, I think you had bought it before this past week. I think you talked about it last podcast, just briefly, or maybe off the air you did, but you bought a pop-up camper. How's that been going?
You know, it's something. It's sitting in my driveway. I'm pretty sure I'm going to back into it every morning when I back out of my garage. And I'll be honest, everyone I've talked to, like I'm having buyer's remorse right now. It's a used one, been in the market for years. You know, the price of pop-ups are just astronomical post-COVID because everybody wanted to go out and camp. But the pendulum has swung, and I've timed the market. And what I found is people are starting to sell off all their pop-up campers that they bought and realize they're never going to use them. And so I found the gem, the diamond in the rough down in Huntsville, Alabama, on Facebook Marketplace. I take Anna's car to get wired up, you know, so that the tail lights and everything and electrical works on it. It's beautiful. Work out a great deal with the guy, and then I'm ready to go. I've watched so many YouTube videos. It's like a subculture of YouTube of just pop-up campers. It's just these guys in their middle, 30s to early 40s in their driveway talking about how they duct tape their pop-ups together, and there's so many things that can go wrong. It is a box of anxiety on two wheels that you tow behind your car. That's all. Because like if you don't put it up right, it'll break. If you don't put it down right, it'll break. If you don't look at it right, it will break. All that being said, great memories, right? Like that's what everyone has been convincing me. Everybody I talk to, they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be great. Like you're gonna make great memories with your family." You've never owned a pop-up. You don't know the stress that now I bear. Okay. So the night before we were about to go to Huntsville, I'm watching this YouTube video and they're talking about like the electrical hookup. So I'm like, I need to know what to do because I don't want to get down there and then this guy's like, who is this joker? He knows nothing about this. I'm gonna have to do all this for him. And I'm like, hold up, the electrical outlet that like the pop-up camper has, that does not look like the wire that is hanging at the backside of my wife's car. I walk out there and to my chagrin, my goodness, we were supposed to leave at like 9 in the morning. And so I wake up at 7:30, go out to the muffler shop. I'm like, my guys, we did the wrong thing. I didn't properly communicate to you. I need this. And the first question the guy asks is, whoa, I don't know if your car is going to be able to tow a pop-up camper. I'm like, you're the one that installed the hitch. You're the one that said it would tow anything. What are you talking about? So after we get through that, he's like, well, sorry, man. We're only working a half day today, and you're going to have to come in on Monday. I'm like, my God, this pop-up camper is a 1 in a million. This guy already has told me he's like fending off the entire state of Alabama just for me to come and look at this thing. It's going to be gone. We're never going to have family memories. What am I going to do? Well, then my wife drops some knowledge and it's like, my dad has an SUV with all the hookups and he tows. I'm like, of course. So we pile up in the Suburban. Anna's dad for the win. Father-in-law of the century drives us down to Huntsville. We pick the sucker up, bring it home, and the first thing I do is break it. You can overextend the pop-up camper and like you can do
yeah.
the roof too high. Totally did that. The little safety wire that's supposed to tell you that it's too high pops off. I'm like, oh my gosh, bolts are everywhere. Things are broken. I'm just like, I just dropped several $1,000s of hard-earned money. And these are the memories that these people are talking about that I make with my family. All that being said, State Farm, I need you to insure my pop-up under my current policy. I do not want to pay any more to insure this thing. So that's my story. Oh, and then after that, I tore a ligament in my thumb.
Did you do that cranking the?
Did not do that cranking. Did that playing football with a bunch of guys much younger than me. I'm going to need an MRI. Probably will need surgery. Anna's motor basically just exploded. Not because we were pulling the pop-up. You would think so. Our AC unit went out. I'm in financial ecstasy at this point. What do you call it? My accountant's out there. We're just in financial straits right now. So I hope we make a lot of money off sponsorships from this podcast. Sponsor us.
Is the AC fixable?
Yes. So shout out to Rico, the man. So there's another story. We call Home Depot because my dad works there. This joker comes out, quotes us $1,300, and my wife is like, great. So Anna signs it. Then I get an email for $2,800, and I call the guy. I'm like, my guy, what's going on? He's like, well, I quoted her and because I thought it was under warranty, but then I found out it's not under warranty, and I'm like, that's convenient. You're not. We're going to use somebody else. So Rico, my boy, he works at the place that I work. He does all the air conditioning on campus. He comes out and he's like, my guy, I know the people down at the shop. If they call you, your name is Connor. Because that was the whole thing with the other people. They're like, yeah, the warranty didn't transfer when you bought the house. And Rico was like, bro, those guys, Bush League. And so he like worked his magic, got it under warranty, saved me a deal. And if I ever get a call from the AC people, I've just got to be like, yeah, hey, this is Connor. Like, appreciate you staying true to the warranty. Anna's car is a whole nother thing. Mazda had this great idea back in 2017 to make a motor that was two pieces. That's right. It's a two-piece motor that's held together by a gasket that freaking leaks oil after 60,000 miles. And Mazda won't recall it. So I took it to Mazda, and they're like, yeah, we'll fix this for a cool $2,600. I'm like, you know what? No thanks. So I take it to my boys up at Import Motors off of Nolensville Road, and they're like, we'll do it for half that. I'm like, great, you're still gouging me, but go for it.
I think all listeners should just start scamming Landon. All 615 numbers to see if now for the next 6 months he picks up his phone and says, hey, this is Connor. Because he's going to be caught tripping out here in these streets in a couple months when HVAC insurance boys call. And they say, Landon says, hey, it's Landon. They say, what, Connor? And you say, yeah, Connor.
It's my middle name. Oh man, yeah. Landon, now that I think about those great memories growing up from a pop-up camper, the first one that came to mind was something going terribly wrong.
Oh my God.
So everybody, we were older than your kids are. I was in middle school. My sister was probably early middle school, late elementary school, maybe, and it must have been one of the first times everybody had a job to do. Like, when you're setting up the camper, everybody's got a job, and we only had one crank. So I would crank it up, and then I was supposed to give the crank to my sister, and she was supposed to put the stabilizers down.
Yep.
And so I gave it to her. She just put it down and started playing.
Oh no.
And my dad was in there pushing one of the beds out, and the whole thing tipped.
no! Oh no!
And he was like, Macy, just yelling. And I mean, no damage done, but it was hysterical. Like he could feel it going. Like we could see it from the outside just start tipping.
That's incredible.
It was hilarious. So, yeah, but no worries, no damage done. I don't think, at least they never told us if there was. So, great
Backing
memories.
up a pop-up camper. I don't know if any of y'all have ever tried to back up anything that's tied
No.
to your vehicle. It's a struggle. And apparently I found out through experience that a single axle trailer is the hardest thing to back up because it's so sensitive. And so we were 15 jackknives at failed attempts into backing this thing up. There were legitimately 20 cars backed up in the campsite. And Anna finally gets out and she just walks over to the guy next to us that's in a fifth wheel, like one of the big ones. And she's like, I need you to help my husband out. Will you please back this up? This bro jumps in the car without looking at any mirrors and perfectly aligns it with the spot. He goes, yeah, man, I've been driving trucks for 40 years, and these single axles, there's something else. I'm like, you just made that look like cutting butter. Are you kidding me?
The only time I've had an experience of putting something in reverse, Terry, that was just not my cup of tea was the freaking it was an airboat. It was an Everglades airboat. And we were down in Miami in the Everglades, and I was in Danny Osmond's truck, and he had his dad's, like, who knows how much that thing was, airboat on the back of his trailer. And Danny's like, just pull this back down in the bayou, let's get her into the Everglades, and let's get it and rip it. And I was like, he was like, just pull her on back. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And he was like, I'm getting in the water. You get in the truck and drive her in. And I was like, okay, yeah. Man, one of the most emasculating things you can do as a man is not know how to drive a trailer. But a counterpoint, why would I know how to drive a trailer? Why?
Right.
Why would I know?
Well, did you do it?
Yeah, I figured it out, but it wasn't good. He kept being like, and I was just, and like, he'd go the other way, and he was like,
Yeah.
and I was just like, go the other way. Like, I drive a freaking Prius. I don't know how to back up a trailer.
I'm pretty sure our neighbors are convinced we're going to get a divorce because I was trying to back it back into our driveway afterwards, and it's a pretty long driveway, and it was probably the most heated argument we've ever gotten in before because it's literally, it does the opposite of what how you turn the wheel. And so Anna's saying, turn right, turn the wheel right. And I've watched all the YouTube videos that say, don't do that, turn it left.
Oh,
Memories, all for memories, right?
It's all for the memories.
the memes. Hey, I feel like for whatever price you paid for that thing, if you tip over once on accident and like the kids remember that, see, worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Yep.
Well, I'm pretty much 99% sure it was not fully hitched to our car on the way there because every time we hit a bump, I'd hear a pop. It was like, oh shit, it's fine. That's fine. Like, it's fine. And then, of course, so like I avoided highways because I was so afraid. And of course, it takes us through this freaking neighborhood with a million speed bumps. It's every speed like a pop, pop. It's like, great. And how I know it definitely was not attached is because I watched so much YouTube about learning about pop-ups. And there's a trick that to know that it's actually engaged, the ball's engaged in the hitch is once you lower it down, then you jack it back up and it starts to like go like this and it'll push your suspension up and you know it's not going to pop out at that point. So I did that, got it in there nice and good. And on the way back, it didn't make any noise at all. There were no noises.
Oh man, good old day. You're living in the good old days, Landon.
Oh,
One
and
day you're
apparently
gonna
there's a
look
thing
back
called
on this.
a brake controller. Apparently, you need something to control the brakes on the trailer because it has electric brakes. And I was about like,
Hmm.
so that's another added, $300 that I wasn't expecting to spend. You guys.
Hey, good thing they pay you the big bucks, am I right?
Yeah. Good thing you're the president of Lipscomb. I mean, that campus. Sorry.
Assistant to the president.
Unbelievable. My name is Connor.
Connor's just the intern to the president, I think. So, no worries. I don't think you can get fired for a free job that you do.
No.
So,
No.
all right. Well, 15 minutes in, just getting to the sneakers. I told you it was going to be a great podcast. I could just feel it. That's way better than sneakers content, and there's not much anyway.
What's
so.
inside the box?
That's my shoe in the box.
All right, first sneaker news. The biggest headline. I don't know if we all saw this. We're on summertime, but Kyrie going to Anta.
Wow.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know. Kyrie's been huge on human rights. I think Anta is on a list of human rights violations for the U.S.
Sounds about right.
So, yeah, you're right. It does sound about right, actually. What do you know? Just another American who says it's not about the money, but in the end, it's probably about the money. So that's fair, I guess. I mean,
Did Nike drop Kyrie?
yes. Or I don't know if they mutually ended it, but yeah, Nike dropped him.
Anta. What a logo. What is that logo? What's that mean?
I don't know. I'm not
It's like an
entirely
Asics
sure.
mixed with a Brooks mixed with a like Nike sign that's been reversed, like mirrored on itself and then flipped.
That's
Very
fair.
confusing.
All those are fair. Brooks is definitely the closest.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did y'all hear about the news that came out about Lamar Ball saying, or was it LaMelo or
LeVar?
Lamar, saying that his shoes are the reason he's all messed up and getting all these injuries?
Lonzo. Yeah.
Lonzo,
The oldest
yeah.
one. Yeah, I did see that. He's said that for a few years, I think, but yeah, he's really sticking to it. That'd be pretty interesting if that were the case.
What if he
I think-
really does? What if he just like starts going to rehab, like starts wearing Nikes, and just like is healed? Just never gets.
He hasn't worn them in a few years, but I guess he wore them in college. I don't know if he wore them in college. Wore them his rookie year for sure.
The
But I think
ball,
that's the only time he
the
wore 'em.
entire ball saga, it just confused me. Honestly, I think I just stopped paying attention as soon as LeVar just started getting on TV and yelling at people for no reason.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I mean, he sold those shoes for like $500, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like
LeVar got the bag.
Yeah,
What a dad, man! What a dad! Might have ruined your son's career, but you did sell $500 pairs of shoes.
yeah. He's a scammer hiding in plain sight.
Oh
Just-
yeah, yeah. I mean, dude was on First Take like every other week because, like, I get really frustrated. I don't know if you guys follow any of those. Like, I follow an NBA news account on Instagram, and it's just so messed up the amount of like non-breaking news that we get. Like, it's like breaking news. Shannon Sharp says that. I was like, well, that's not news. That's just what somebody said. Like, it's not news if somebody says John Morant's a knucklehead. No, it's news when he held up a gun. Like, whatever people says is not breaking news anymore.
Facts.
I don't know. I don't know if you're following me, but I don't feel like, okay, because Scottie Pippen says that Michael Jordan was a terrible athlete. It's not breaking news because it's not true. Just because somebody says it doesn't mean it's breaking news.
I have, speaking on this, not sports related, but somehow when I got my iPad that I have now, I guess I just like left on the news notifications in general,
Mm-hmm.
and the headlines that come across my iPad at the end of the day, man, just hilarity. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, it's like it's the same kind of stuff. Like you're saying, it is not headline worthy. Like Fox News should not be sending me that. CNN
Mhm.
should not be sending me that. That AP Press should not be sending me that. The things that I get sent, I'll have to, maybe I can make a little segment. Maybe I can try to relearn how to post on Instagram, and I'll make a segment of what things Dan got on his news notifications for the day via Instagram story or something.
I would love that.
The news thing is out of control.
Yeah, I was looking for some of my breaking news stuff that I've seen lately, but
Is
Like,
where
here's
is-
one. Breaking news from Charles Barkley. This is a quote by Charles Barkley. This NBA County is who I'm talking about right now. That's their Instagram. Charles Barkley says, Celtics played bad basketball. They're so undisciplined and unfundamentally sound. Like, was that news? Was it newsworthy for that to show up on my timeline? No, that's like not a headline. Because Charles Barkley said it on a broadcast? No, who cares?
You know what would
Sorry.
have been a
The
headline?
state of news. What's your headline?
If
Landon?
Adam Silver had announced Ja Morant's suspension term at the NBA Final Trophy ceremony yesterday.
Yes.
That would have been awesome.
He is such
Did
a
you-
dumb you know what that I was hoping he would do that.
What a squirrely looking guy.
He looks like he's up to no good 99% of the time.
But he's like
I
the
agree.
best commissioner. He's the only commissioner that people
He's the
don't
least hated.
hate, yeah, as much as everybody else.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Well, he was smart in his introduction. He got some boos and then quickly turned the attention to Denver and was like, in your 40 years history or whatever. And that's how he
Mhm.
got the applause. So that was it's well done.
Smart man.
Tactical.
He's gotten all the tips from Roger Goodell of how not to be a commissioner. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Roger isn't. I mean, I guess he's making people money, so
he's
the
making
owners love him.
the owners love him.
Yeah. Did you see? We're way off of sneakers, but did you see Nikola Jokic in his post-game press conference?
Horse race. That's all I cared about. Dude's so weird. Dude
Oh,
is
yeah.
the worst thing that ever happened to the NBA. 'Cause
Pretty much. Oh, I disagree. He's so funny and he's so fun to watch. He just doesn't care about
he's not
being a
marketable
superstar
at
No,
all.
he
Yeah.
doesn't care about that. Like,
Like I thought Kawhi, like, he was the least marketable person ever, and then Joker was like, hold my beer. Like,
yeah.
he makes Kawhi look like the freaking Kardashians.
What did that guy say? He was like, Jokic was like, nobody loves coming to work. I was like, you literally play basketball for work. He's like, all he cares about is horses. It's like all he cares about. He's like,
It's literally just his job.
he said, I think the whole quote was like, nobody loves coming to work. Well, I guess some people do, but they're lying. It's like, what a quote. What a great quote. Like, you just told us that you hate coming to work and you play basketball for a living.
And won a NBA championship
Right.
for the first
Two-time MVP. Like, you were the greatest player 2 years in a row.
for the first time in franchise history for the Denver Nuggets, and you're just like, yeah, don't know
He
about
could
this.
care less.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he's turning it, just the NBA on its head. Like, the whole perception of, like, this is just a job. Like, you've got guys that it's their life, right? You've got LeBron posting after losing a series in the gym. I mean, it's all his identity is. And the Joker's like, this is just my day job. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's kind of healthy. I think it's kind of cool.
He'll probably stay around. I say the day after the parade, he's probably going to be back in Serbia with his horses, riding a horse somewhere. Can you imagine what that horse is? Pretty strong. That's a
He's
big
stout
dude.
horse.
Big dude.
I would love to see him on a horse.
There's got to be a photo out there somewhere.
I've seen him in like a little chariot looking thing, like a horse and buggy, but it was two horses. And he was like in this, it looks like a chariot, but he was behind them in that, being pulled by his horses. But
Did you hear
Yeah.
the owner of the Nuggets call him a fat teenager? Or what? It's like it's just the most classic, creepy, old, rich, white guy owner of a franchise comments. And did you see how he was like speaking into what's her name's ear? Like he wasn't speaking into the mic. He was like, the mic was here, and he was like, whispering into her ear. It was so weird, man.
Yeah, we need to
Trophy presentations.
that's so that owner has won like what, a Super Bowl, NBA Finals, and a Stanley Cup in like the last 3 years. Because he
What money?
owns the Rams, he owns the Colorado Avalanche, and the Denver Nuggets.
Wow.
I'm fairly sure those are the three.
talk
Hook 'em on
about
a Titan.
just F you.
Yeah.
Money. Holy nutballs. That
Yeah.
That's
man is-
crazy.
Yeah.
He doesn't even think about anything.
Stan Kroenke, is that his name?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. It's like what? Yeah. I wonder how he got his money. He's got some bodies buried somewhere. I'm probably gonna be the next one because I said that.
If you come looking for me, my name's Connor.
Hey, look, if I get killed over this, you guys better take this podcast somewhere because then we've got some real.
Heavy hitters.
Well, yeah.
We need to be making some money if we got people out in these streets.
Oh, yeah. If that billionaire is listening to us or his cronies, we definitely got some
Kroenke's cronies.
sponsorships. Anyways, what do we think of Kyrie going to Anta?
Honestly, I could care less. I mean,
Yeah.
Kyrie thinks the Earth is flat. He had some cool Nikes, but
Does he still play in the NBA? Is he like with the team?
He's on the Mavericks, or he's a free agent, I believe now. But he was with the Mavericks this past year.
Dude's not
Well,
gonna
half
play
a season.
another
years?
quarter of basketball. Like I think he's done.
He's good. He's still really good.
Nah.
All right, I'm not gonna argue over that one, but we'll go next. See what's next. Speaking of Kyrie Irving, he's got what he says he's part Native American. These dunks are made to honor Native Americans. The N7 collection, Nike SB dunk. Landon, I can't decide which way you'll lean on these. What you got?
So my great grandmother
I love the way this is starting out.
was a Cherokee Indian, pure. Grew up like
Whoa.
out in the West, or anyways, like the whole thing in a
No
teepee. I can't make this up. Well, I was saying the Cherokees are in the South. They were not in the West.
Right.
So she was in the South, but yeah, my great grandmother, Native American. So I'm like my mom was like a 132nd. And so like I'm just like I don't even think I'm able to claim that heritage at all. But all that being said, I come from a lineage of Native Americans. If this is trying to honor them, this might be the most dishonoring thing I've ever seen in my life. This is pitiful. What is this?
It looks like more Day of the Dead
Yes.
styling to me.
yes, I
And
agree
I'll
with you.
say the previous year ones of this honoring the Native Americans
Yeah.
that has been incredible. Like with the Aztec patterns and
And the
fleece.
blue and
Oh man,
yeah, I
knocked
agree.
it out of the park. What is this?
This
In a
doesn't
dunk? How many Native Americans have you seen walking around in
So-
dunks?
If so, you're let's say somewhere between 164th and 128th Native American. Does this offend you?
100%. Just cancel Nike.
You should see, Landon. You should see if you can, or Connor. You should see if you can apply for
Thank you.
your Native American. Like, you should see if you can get one of those license plates where you don't ever have to renew it.
Is that for real?
Yeah, I think so. I had a friend who had that. She was she like grew up and lived in Oklahoma. Now lives here in Memphis, but like her parents were like part of like the Cherokee Nation through like some relative, and like she gets all sorts of like cool benefits.
Sign me up, man.
Yeah, my grandmother was like, I think an 1/8.
That's pretty
Native
good.
American. Yeah, she could get, or I don't know. Her sister, I believe, got scholarships for diversity Native American scholarships. So I don't know what that makes me, but
I feel like I should do like one of those ancestry things.
be a good
But I
idea.
also feel pretty sketched out. Not that I'm a left or right wing conservative or liberal. That I would be sending my blood and DNA to a company that I don't actually know what they're doing with it.
China. They own all those companies.
Probably. So
Probably gonna clone you.
They're making clones right now.
to wear these Native American dunks. I can't add anything else to these. They're pretty terrible. It looks like the arts and craft thing that you would get at Michael or in Sunday school.
That's fair,
You're
yeah.
like, hey,
That's
this is
great.
so, and then you come home with like a man that looks like he's got like a bulging ball sack or something, and you're like, look, Mom, aren't you so proud? And it's just
Thanks for ending it there. We'll keep on going.
yeah.
My name's Connor, by the way, and I
Work for
don't
Belmont.
approve of that message. Yeah, I work for Belmont. But to that point, it does look like something my kids would bring home from church, like some craft that they did.
They might bring this home from VBS.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out all the VBSs out there this week, next week, last week. Doing the Lord's work.
Very nice. This next one is another bad take on a sneaker. You know, since Hayes wasn't here, I wanted to bring the negativity real strong this week. So Adidas
Yep, I saw these today.
putting a clog out. Now, I get everybody's on the clog wave. These are hideous. But the headline on this was that these are inspired by the Stan Smiths. And I can't find, can you find where that is from? I don't see that here.
No.
It's like, maybe that'll sell a few more. I don't know.
And I hate the clog wave. I despise it. I think you look stupid if you're wearing clog flops. I think you look stupid if you're wearing Yeezy clogs. I think you look stupid if you're wearing anything that's not just a normal looking shoe. And Brooke picked up one of those little flip-flop clog docks the other day in Target, and she said, what do you think about these? Should I get them? They're totally cool. And I said, if you wear those, I will not be caught dead in public with you. And she said, you can put them right back on the shelf.
Way to hold your ground. Some hills are worth dying on, Dan. Some are not, but some are.
I just don't. This looks like something a nurse worker would wear, and maybe that's.
I was thinking that a restaurant employee, that has to have them non-slip.
Yes. What would be even funnier is if they do start wearing them and then do start slipping, and then they can sue Adidas for making these hideous shoes. I'm out.
I think they're great.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. These look like Crocs.
I usually can't tell when you're lying, but I know you don't think those look great. It's hideous.
Clog on my nog.
If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
Also, do you feel like you're just like floating if you wear something that tall?
Yeah, I would think so. They better be like Tempur-Pedic or something. If you're going fat like that.
If those are thick with 3Cs and those aren't the most comfortable shoes you've ever put on your body, I mean, Adidas has failed.
Yeah, 100%. That pink one, that's like a good Pepto-Bismol pink right there.
Mm-hmm.
Upset stomach, diarrhea, hit these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can feel a lot of diarrhea in those shoes. I mean, those things are massive boats. Snag one up, put in your back pocket for later.
Oh, all right. From clogs to clot. We've got 2 clot sneakers on here. I think we've had these on the pod before, but this is off a Air Force One that Clot did an Air Force One like this, I think, back a long time ago. And now
Yep.
Fragment and Clot and Nike are all collabing on this dunk. And I think I like it. It's growing on me.
I think it's sick. I would never wear it. I would look just so dumb wearing it. I will try to buy this shoe to resell because I do think in person, I think the details could be like immaculate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the thing is I just want them in hand. I don't care if I just take them back to Nike I don't think they're gonna bust or anything. I just think it's a really clean shoe. They're not gonna have too many pairs out there. But yeah, I agree. The detail, the stitching, everything on this is very well done.
Yep.
We see a lot of collabs that are not very well thought through, and it seems lazy. This one's really cool.
Yep. Agreed.
Oh. Landon, any thoughts on this?
I hate clot.
It's just because they had those window shoes, right? The toe box
the
was
ones
clear.
that I sold at Music City Vintage for like half what I paid them for because I was
Is
trying to buy
the
a
ones?
pop-up camper. Yeah. It all goes back to the pop-up. All the great memories.
Oh man! All right, let's find that other clot shoe. Let's see if anything else changes your mind. I think is this it? Oh yeah, Landon. I thought you actually might like this one. It's a cork dunk, and it's got the Velcro swooshes on them, so you can change them out like the basketball sneakers did back in the day. Looks like
This
we're
ain't
down
it.
on that.
This ain't it.
What about this all cork one in the bottom right? I think it's kind of cool.
I think
That
it's
ain't it.
I'm in on this. I will be trying to purchase these. I'll probably put them on my foot, and they'll again look dumb like every single dunk in my life does. But
Amen. Amen for me, is at least. I don't know. Never seen dunks on your feet, but
yeah, no, they look bad. I think they're cool.
I like them. Landon, why don't you like them? You don't think they look cool, or
I'm
think they're corny?
I'm sick of dunks, man.
That's fair.
Put out a different shoe.
I mean, we rode the Jordan 1 into the ground. Now it's just the Dunk's turn.
Dunk it up, baby.
Oh man, I had a buddy send me a fake website that was selling replicas. He knows nothing about shoes, but he loves Spider-Man. He loves comics. He went and saw the movie, and I mean, I love him to death. But he's the guy that's like, "Hey, do you think they still have these at Foot Locker?" I'm like, "Bro, they never had these at Foot Locker to begin with." All that being said, I was like, "Bro, don't buy off the site. Those are coming straight from China, and they are fake. They will fall off your feet. They will fall apart." And so, yeah, Jordan 1, Spider-Man. If you got a size 11.5 or 12, hit us up. I got a buddy. I can make a deal.
God, yawning on the podcast. Embarrassing. All right. Well, my last bit of sneaker news is essentially from you guys weren't on the podcast when we had Matt Clark on, right?
Correct.
I think it was just Hayes and I. I think it was him who asked us the question, our thoughts on Jordan cleats. So I saw this coming across the timeline, these royal blue Jordan 1 cleats coming out. What do you think about Jordan 1, specifically football cleats and or baseball cleats?
I'm here for it.
I love them.
Okay.
I think I love when I love the customized ones probably more than just like the generic what they're coming out with any old man can buy. But I'm a fan. I mean, I think that they always do like a fairly decent job, and it always catches my eye when a baseball player is out there on the mound pitching in Jordan ones. I mean, it's
Baseball
always-
way cooler to me than football.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Because I feel like too, like the linemen, it's almost like I think you're gonna break your ankle more if I see you wearing a Jordan 1 cleat than if you're just in a regular Nike cleat. Like I'm
Yeah.
like Taylor Lewan, freaking get something else on because that is not gonna support your weight. You know how many injuries you have. That's my take.
Yeah, I think to me in football, if you're not Pro Bowl caliber, like in the in 5-6 years ago, you couldn't get a Jordan cleat unless you were Pro Bowl caliber.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts, those guys are. I mean, last year wasn't Russ's year, but those guys are the names that have Jordan cleats, like
Yep.
Jordan 11 cleats and those really cool ones. And man, I'm sorry, I've called this guy out, and I would love him to come on the podcast because he's obviously a sneakerhead. But Tierre Tart for the Titans, I'm sorry, man, you're just not there yet. You
Yeah.
got to take off the bread ones.
Yeah.
Or the Chicago's, whichever. I think it was bread ones he was wearing this year.
Yeah.
Just not there yet, you know.
It's almost too
But-
mainstream. I mean, it's not.
Just handing them out like candy.
Yeah, this is. I mean,
Baseball, we've got. I guess there's a lot more, but you know, Mookie's always come in with a clean pair.
I always loved when Jeter was playing, and Nike was always doing the collabs with the New York Yankee ones. And
Mhm.
I mean, I always thought that those were so cool. And I'm not.
I have some Jordan Jeter trainers.
hmm Yeah, those are.
Not extremely cool, but I found them at Marshalls. I was like, okay, that's kind of dope. I'll take those.
Yes.
The details on any player edition shoe is cool. So
100%.
the other question, and now I just forgot it, that Matt was talking about. I'm blanking out. I'll go for one that Hayes and I had last week. I think Landon's computer died, so we'll see if he pops back in later. But you watched some of the finals, did you not, Dan?
Yes.
What did you think about? So Christian Brown and Bruce Brown both had Grinches on.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on NBA players not matching their jerseys at all?
Generally, I'm kind of fine with it. I feel like it works decently well. I do feel like I don't understand like when you do a themed shoe like that not in season. Like wear the Grinches
Yeah.
November, December, and then stop. Like
Yeah.
I think that's way cooler. And maybe then like the market is oversaturated with NBA players just wearing Kobe Grinches, but I just feel like it looks better that way. Like I don't want to see you wearing Grinches in the middle of April.
Right.
I don't want to see you wearing I don't know what other
Black History Months in October.
Yeah, come on now. But generally, like I feel like if it was 10 years ago, I think I'd be on the opposite side of the fence. Be like, hey, match your jersey. Like look like a team unit. Like make sure this actually works well with what y'all got going on. But now you got people showing up to the stadiums looking like homeless people. I mean, some of the outfits Desmond Bain wore this year were actually concerning. Like I didn't know if he was making money or if he was like having to pay money to play on the Grizzlies. So like if you're gonna show up looking as ridiculous as possible, might as well just wear whatever you want on the court.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
you're
I'm.
on the opposite side.
Do what?
I feel like you're on the opposite side.
Yeah, I want. It doesn't have to match perfectly, but if you're wearing white, red, and blue on your jersey, you can't wear green shoes.
Fair.
That's just my opinion. Like, I love it. PJ Tucker will bring out some extreme. You can find some extremely rare dope shoe of any color. Just do one that matches the jersey that you're wearing that time.
Fair. Yeah.
Why does everybody wear the Grinch? Did y'all see that on the
That's
Nuggets?
what we were
Is
talking
that what
about.
y'all are talking about?
Yes,
That,
yep.
Oh man, that bothers me so much.
Yeah,
I
Do a re-release of those just for the Nuggets?
yeah. I don't know that. I didn't like it. Not a fan of it.
My thoughts on the Grinch side of things, like wear those November, December, and then cut it off. Put those in a deep, dark spot where you're not going to find them in April. Wear them out on the court.
Yeah. Like, you're in the NBA finals. I get the Grinch is a top tier shoe, especially most of these guys grew up watching Kobe. Kobe had 15 shoes.
So
You can
many
pick any
cool
of them.
shoes. So many cool shoes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I want to see
with
someone
you.
bring out like a Nerf KD 4 or like
Yeah.
like something like that.
Exactly.
Not the Grinch, not the I don't know.
Not something we've seen all the time.
Yeah. Come on now, people. Y'all make big bucks. Figure this out.
Like, some USA Kobe's would have gone great with their jerseys that they wore in the final game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gone perfect.
Yeah.
Those jerseys were mid, by the way, too.
Yeah, I didn't love them either. What did you think of Jamal Murray wearing the brown New Balance like the whole playoffs? I don't know if you saw those. Just
I've
straight
seen 'em.
all brown. It was a very New Balance-esque color.
I like Jamal Murray. I like his game. I like his personality. So I'm down with it.
That's the take that I wanted to hear. Positivity. Do you like Jamal Murray or Nikola Jokic better, Landon?
Oh man. In the grand scheme of it, I don't like either of them. I'll be honest. The whole playoff series was just uninspiring. Like,
It's because they were so
tried to get
dominant.
into it. Yeah. And like I was cheering for a Boston Lakers final. Just for,
Gosh, what a dud. You're such a dud. That's so lame.
What? Why?
It's just so typical.
Steph.
The Heat.
Thompson was non-existent. Who did the Heat beat? They beat Boston, right?
They beat Giannis first. Yeah, and they beat Boston.
This is terrible. Like I just
yeah.
couldn't. I had to force myself to watch those games.
Miami was fun to watch. I don't know what you guys aren't huge basketball fans, I guess, but
Dan, do you agree with me? That was a bad finals.
My cable subscription ran out at the end, the middle of May 19th. So when I've been watching, I've either been Redditing, which is very dangerous these days, I feel like, or just trying to like watch via someone's access that I have via my television in my living room.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't know who either of those players were before watching the playoffs.
Really? Jamal Murray?
Jamal Murray?
No clue. No idea who he was.
I don't even know why I asked you then. I shouldn't have asked you any of these questions.
Where did he go? Oklahoma?
Jamal Murray went to Kentucky.
Kentucky, there you go. Great. But did he do anything in college? No. Did he win an NCAA tournament? No.
You're right, because it is actually more important to have accolades in college than it is at a professional level. It is
All
better.
I'm saying is,
it is better
NCAA
to get a Final Four appearance than an NBA.
Great basketball.
So you would say that Carmelo Anthony is probably higher rated than most NBA Finals MVPs.
I'd agree with that 100%. Carmelo Anthony is one of my favorite NBA players of all time.
So that lines up perfectly.
Him and Derrick Rose are like 1 and 2 for me.
Well, Derrick Rose didn't win that championship. Remember, he missed some free throws.
That's true.
He missed some free throws and tore some ACLs about every other day. When I think of Carmelo Anthony, it is synonymous with Lindale White and the Tennessee Titans.
Just because the cornrows?
Yes, cornrows, and both were thicker than a Snicker at one point or another in their career. Like I remember when we called him Lin Whale White because he
Oh,
was just
Lin Whale,
so
yeah.
thick. And then I mean, same thing. I mean, Carmelo, sheesh boy, he knows to pound some cheeseburgers or something.
I always think of maybe you guys don't remember this. I guess in college maybe I got ESPN the magazine subscription. Like that was one of my Christmas presents.
I love getting
And
that.
My mom caught me
Carmelo-
watching or going through the swimsuit.
I knew you were gonna say that.
She didn't even see me. She heard me flipping the pages, and she said, "Landon."
Yeah. I'm not gonna clip that for everybody to see on social media, but anyways, Carmelo had a whole ESPN the magazine on him and his hat collection, and it was not like a baseball cap collection; it was like a brimmed like hat collection. It's like the whole magazine, and so that's all I think of when I think of Carmelo is Carmelo's hats and where he stored them all.
Allen Iverson. Did Allen Iverson play for the Nuggets for like a
Yeah.
year? That's right.
With Carmelo.
Can you believe that's incredible? How did they not win an NBA final?
I don't know.
I wish I think
How
Allen
far did that team
Iverson-
go? AI, Carmelo Anthony, two of the greatest players of all time. How far did they go?
I think they went to a conference finals, maybe. Maybe. I feel like I remember a Linus Kleza hitting a shot in deep in the playoffs. I don't know when.
If
Hayes
there's
would know.
one thing that I could go back and do with my life, which would be impossible unless I was birthed earlier, I would go back and watch like peak Michael Jordan, peak AI. Like I feel like the '90s, like in the '90s, and just watching NBA.
I think you can do that on YouTube. Just
Yeah.
act like it's
Yeah.
like in the middle of the season.
But it's like one of those things. Like in the moment, this is like one of
Yeah.
this is like it's just one of those sports things.
Yeah.
Just
Well, and
feel
that's
I
like
what-
get it.
it's like
Maybe
I'm
my
witnessing. You
expectations
know,
were-
you're witnessing history when you're watching it.
Right.
And I was trying to like bottle that up and encapsulate that, and I thought I was going to watch history and watching Steph Curry against LeBron, and it was just not good. It
That
was not
series,
good at basketball.
that series stunk.
Yeah.
Lakers Warriors was terrible,
Yeah,
and I hate
Yeah.
both teams. So I could care. I wanted them both to lose, but that was
I love
they
watching Steph
kind of
Curry.
did.
Steph Curry is so fun to watch, though. Still,
is.
he's an old man, but he is fun to watch.
Crazy. That means that we're old. We're
Yeah.
old.
I think you are old for sure. It's up
Okay.
for debate for us on
All
the left
right.
side. Yeah.
How old is the Joker? Is he like mid
I think he's
20s?
like this was his 10th year, so I think he's 29. I think
He's been in the league for 10 years.
yeah, he was not a highly touted player for a long time.
Happened.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like I legitimately
I think he got into shape. I know you don't think he's in shape, but he's in a lot more shape than he usually is.
I call him a fat teenager. I said that his owner did. I think he's in shape. It's great. He's awesome. He's great at basketball. But like, and what happened to Kawhi? Like, I feel like it's just these one and done guys that it's like a shooting star, and you'll never see him again.
Not
happened to
Jokic,
Kawhi?
man. I don't know. He doesn't play any games.
Jeremy Lin. Ever heard of him?
Jeremy Lin. Great question, Dan. What happened to Jeremy Lin? Lin Nation. What happened to James Harden? What happened to Russell Westbrook?
James Harden had a 45-point game in the playoffs this year.
Lost lost in the playoffs. It was
Russell
one of the reasons why their team lost.
Westbrook is terrible now. I don't know that he's ever been good. I think somehow KD just gave him like some magical crystals or something before every game, and it was like, "Hey, take these." Or maybe like Kyrie told him about the flat Earth and like it wigged him out, and he's like become bad now or something. But
Dwight Howard. What happened to that guy?
Dwight Howard was good for a really long time.
T-Mac.
Now you're just saying people that are like 45 years old. It's like, what happened to him? He just fell off the face of the earth. Like,
what
well, he
happened to Charles
retired.
Barkley? What happened to Michael Jordan? What happened to Karl Malone?
Reggie Miller. That guy was shooting threes like last season. Now he's commentating.
Oh man.
What happened to
There's a-
Stephon Marbury? Does anyone know?
Actually, I think he probably went to China.
He's
I think he was like
national
China's
sensation.
favorite player. Yeah.
Yeah. Dennis Rodman.
This is
What
the
happened to that
reason
guy?
that we can't have a basketball podcast.
Because Mason's
Okay.
the only one who actually understands basketball, and we're just freaking just adding zero helpful content.
Yeah, I
I
might
think
be the
you guys
biggest
understand
basketball
it.
poser of all time.
You just don't watch it.
True.
But I would say I'm like sicko level basketball. So it's like more than shoes. I probably am more into basketball than shoes.
So, did
Sicko
you
mode.
enjoy final series? The Heat Nuggets? Like,
Yeah. I can watch literally any team. Like I will find a player that I really like and watch them like all the time.
here's a legitimate question. Dude that plays for the Mavericks. What happened to him?
Luca?
He was like the all-star of the bubble. What happened to him?
He's still really good. He's only like 23 maybe years old, maybe younger.
Didn't he play with the Joker? Who was that guy? No, who's the big guy that played with Luca
This is a great
in the
ending.
bubble?
Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay. So did the Mavericks even make it to the playoffs this year?
No, they didn't. They traded for Kyrie and then didn't make the playoffs. It's pretty underwhelming.
It blows my mind how quickly the tide can change in the NBA.
Yeah, that's why it's the greatest.
It's just hard to follow, man.
That's fair. Really, all that
Jason
matters
Tatum.
is getting buckets, man.
Jason Tatum was like incredible in one game, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's the answer." And then he lost the series.
I
I
feel
just
like
don't get it, man.
you're very short-sighted.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
It's like he was great for a game, and now he's just dead to me.
Mason, can you let Hayes in?
Oh yeah, this ought to be fun.
Hey guys,
Hey, we've been talking about, of all things, we've been talking about basketball without you for about 10 minutes.
why?
High level analysis of NBA.
Yeah,
Basketball.
Landon, or Connor, as he's going by right now, he's asking all sorts of very elementary basketball questions.
Who's asking these questions?
Landon.
Why is he going by Connor?
It's a long
Don't worry
story.
about
You'll
it.
have to listen to the podcast.
Okay, I'll go back and listen. I'm in the middle of couldn't tell you, Florida. I've got a bus full of people, and I saw it was live, and I finally have some cell phone service, and I got to make a appearance.
Well, we're on minute 59, so you
I
got
know,
here
so-
just in time to wrap us out.
Oh, perfect! Play the beat.
This has been episode 120 of the Still Drippin' Happy Hour. Thank you for listening. We're going to kick it over to our man on the sidelines, Mr. Hayes Holla. We love you all. Sorry there was so much basketball, but you're welcome.
Hey,
If you're-
one question. What happened to Kyle Lowry? Where did that guy go?
He's on the Heat. Like, he was in the finals. He's 38 years old.
Yeah.
He also
Well,
is the greatest
well,
Raptor of all
Patrick.
time. So
Also,
Anyway.
a very underrated career.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go, Hayes. I'm try
All right.
something for you.
I can't hear very well. I mean, it's very loud in this.
All right,
church.
we'll
It's
try.
not
Is
great.
Give Up a good one?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Let's try this one.
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be really shaky. This van smells like a middle school locker room. Sweaty, tits, socks, drops, flops, flip flops. And I have paid the gas. We've had to take 18 stops to the restroom. It's a good thing I'm in Florida because they ain't transing down here and there's no Bud Light. I'm Bud Lighting it, fighting it. I'm taking a flight. I should have flown down here, but I'm driving it. 12 hours almost. But it's freedom in Florida. That's as much as I got. I'm so tired.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
See you guys. Thanks for letting me come in.